So have you guys ever been to Dubai to do anything other than the airport? I know you've been to the airport. Have you actually been to the city before?
Just the airport. Always been a dream to go out and do business there, have something to do there.
Yeah, well, you're going to be playing a huge game there. So this 3-on-3 basketball. First of all, by the way, we're joined by two amazing stars in the basketball world, but also in life in general. Dr. Sarah Ogoke and Niki Avery. And, you know, Nikki, I know you from the New Heights program, the youth basketball in Brooklyn. We'll get to all of that in the backstories in a minute. But first up, for people who are not familiar with this Red Bull 3-on-3 tournament, and now you're going to be playing for the championship, representing Team USA. Nikki, describe what this is and how you got to this point.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable feeling. First of all, we're both very proud to represent the USA, the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Although our backgrounds are obviously from different walks of life,
yeah,
but we're so proud. And we got here, believe it or not, we're champions already, right? We've proven that. But while we were driving in the car to Philly with just us two, we did not know what was going to happen, Mike. We were wondering, should we go? What are we going to do? Is it worth it? We didn't have our third player. Can you imagine that? You're going to play in a 3-on-3 without the third player. Me and Sarah ended up picking up a player in Philly. We've never met her. And we won the whole tournament.
Which got you to Dubai to play for the World Championship,
yes,
for this 3-on-3.
Exactly.
Sarah, when you went through that moment, and as Nikki described, the chance to go play on the global stage to represent this country in the game that you love, what was going through your mind when you realized that you were headed to Dubai?
I mean, I was super excited. Having a background in playing for Nigeria, which is the country of my roots, and having a lot of success in playing in FIBA basketball, it just proved to be a huge honor to finally be able to represent USA at the Red Bull World Championships, and I was so excited.
And so that's coming up at the end of November, and I want to dig into more of what we can expect as we follow your journey in just a moment. But let's go backwards for a moment. Let's start with you, because I introduced you as Sarah Ogoke, but you're Dr. Sarah Ogoke. You're a doctor, a resident working 80 hours a week. But you were born in the Bronx, grew up in Texas. And tell me if I have this right. It was around 12 years old. You really liked football at the beginning, right?
I started off playing soccer, exactly.
Yeah, so football. And then you made the 7th grade basketball team, and you fell in love.
Absolutely. Honestly, I started off playing on the streets, just with friends. My neighbors would come knock on my door and say, hey, Sarah, come out to play, and that's what I did. And when I finally had the opportunity to play organized basketball at the 7th grade level, I picked it up and I ran with it, you know, and I was able to play high school basketball, get a full scholarship at the Division I level to play for the University of Pittsburgh in the NCAA, which at the time was a top 15 program in the country. From there, I went professionally and was able to play for Nigeria, my roots, where my parents are from. And I was able to enjoy an amazing basketball career.
Yeah, amazing, no doubt about that. 5 consecutive Afro Championships, right?
Absolutely.
And the medals are here, and we've been looking at it. But to think about that journey and to get to that point, and then we'll get to your day job in just a minute as a doctor. What did it take to reach that level of basketball, to enjoy so many championships back to back to back with teams that obviously they ebb and flow from year to year and different strengths and all of that? What was that commitment like, and what was that journey like for you?
The journey, excellent question. The journey was paved by resilience. Resilience, laser focus, and a pure love and passion for the game of basketball. There were days when I didn't know if I would have enough time to be able to play, but I showed up and I went to the gym anyways, you know. Also, being in medical school, there were days when I didn't know if my teachers would approve me to leave, but I showed up at the gym anyways, and luckily a professor, you know, granted me the opportunity to go play and take the exam when I came back. So it was just a solid situation of me just being prepared and controlling what I could control in the face of so much adversity and uncertainty.
And Nikki, your story is incredible too, and in Harlem, and you know, both New York stories really in so many ways. But what I'm interested in is that as you're climbing in the basketball world, you're also balancing this huge workload, both coursework in medical school and now actually doing the residency in being a doctor, a surgeon, right? So how did you develop that track to take something, basketball's already challenging, and now you're saying, hey, you know what, I'm also going to become a doctor too? When did you first realize that's the path you wanted to go down?
Well, funny enough, my father being a physician inspired me from day one to become a doctor. In elementary school, I knew I was going to be a surgeon. I just got really good at basketball later on.
Yeah.
So to be able to continue to pursue both of my dreams at a high level has been nothing short of amazing. It's been a huge blessing, and I really attribute a lot of my success and my experiences to the loving support that I've had with my family, my parents, and then my husband, and the son that I have today. Is inspiring me.
Yeah, little Bentley, which we'll meet Bentley in just a moment, hopefully, if he's up for it. About to turn 1 year old
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, which is absolutely incredible. Your mom's also a nurse, right?
Absolutely.
So you had that sort of built in. Now let's talk about what was happening in Harlem, because let's go back to a young Nikki,
Yes.
okay, a young Nikki playing, in Cherry Tree Park, right?
Yeah.
In the Washington Projects, you
Yeah.
were down there, and was it your brother Virgil who said, you know what, come play with me,
Yeah.
dribble the ball? How did that go? How did your love of basketball begin?
I mean, I was a bit ruthless as a child, to be honest. I mean, I was outside playing manhunt. We would play like with dirt bombs and throw them at each other.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the project games that all the kids played, but I was with the boys constantly. So I developed this like thick skin and this competitive nature naturally, being around the guys. And so wherever my brother went, I would go, and we played everything. I mean, football, basketball, baseball, hockey. I was the goalie. I was like, they picked me first always. So I just became this unbelievable athlete, but really it was the willpower to want to win and compete. And so I credit it to my environment, all of my brothers and whatnot.
When did you know you had something special on the court?
I think maybe around 12, I would say. It was when I started getting picked up by the boys first.
They would do pickup games,
Yeah.
and they would sort of, listen, I have 2 daughters who play basketball, and I know you know one of them, Mila,
Yeah,
who,
Mila.
part of the New Heights program in Brooklyn, but they underestimated you.
Yeah, they underestimated me.
And they would, pick other boys and say, well, I'm not going to have a girl on my team. You showed them that they needed you on their team. What was the experience like as you started to gain the trust of your friends and the people in the neighborhood, and they said, you know what, Nikki's good. Like, we want Nikki on the team.
Yeah, it's always awesome, when your work gets looked at and gets shown as you get credit for what you're doing, right? So I was young, I didn't understand it at that time, but the guys were picking me up first and second. I mean, I was the first pick.
Yeah.
Because I had the jump shot, I could handle the ball. So I did a lot of things that were foundationally skilled and good.
And you had some success in high school,
Yep.
then that launched into college. Take me through that college experience and when you started to say, you know what, I actually do this on the professional level too.
Yep. I had a really rough journey, honestly, through high school. I went to 3 high schools. I went to Murray Bertram, which was a championship team, Ed Grzinski. We had some major players there. Then I transferred to St. Raymond Academy. I was playing with Shannon Bobbitt, some big names. And then I stayed there for 2 years. Then I went to Kennedy my last year, where I was Bronx Player of the Year. I also won the 3-point shootout in the PSAL. And I got my full scholarship to UTEP, University of Texas El Paso, Division I. And so I moved around a lot, I didn't have a background with basketball, but I just had some willpower. I just knew I wanted to be something and do something big with basketball. So I fought the adversity, and I was finding my way. And so that led me to become a pro. I played 12 years in Europe. I played in Greece, Sweden, Holland, Hungary, Cyprus, Poland, Puerto Rico. So I'm very happy with my whole career and how things turned out. So it's been nice.
And Sarah, I want to ask you about your experience too, and how you got hooked up with Red Bull in just a minute. But for both of you, you've come across some big names in just basketball in general, and played in big moments. I know you played at the Garden. You had an experience there. You, obviously, Rucker Park, that's well known around the world, the street basketball mecca.
Yeah.
Who were some of the people that you met along the way that people would know that shared some stuff with you that helped you on your journey?
I would go to the girls. I'm going to stick with the girls list. I have Renee Taylor. These are like my backcourt partners, Shannon Bobbitt, Crystal Bellinger.
Yeah.
I mean, Mercedes Dukes. These are all big names during my era of basketball, and we all kind of connected and played off of each other. So those were my like inspirations, but also my competitors. And so I want to shout them out before I like start naming any men, you know, because that's what we think of first. It's like usually the men are like in the forefront and whatnot, but you know, a lot of the ladies really showed me the way as well.
Yeah, I think it's just incredible, the story. And Sarah, you know, when you think about that and playing on these championship teams, the back to back, you know, the 5 championships in, I think, is that enough backs? No. I'm trying to count. But 5 championships in a row for that team, and just, you know, what did you learn about yourself in that process that will now help you as you head into this next situation in Dubai playing for Team USA? What did you learn?
I learned that the first championship is always the hardest. Once you kind of get across that first hump, the rest are a little bit easier because you have some confidence. So when me and Nikki were on our way to Philadelphia,
which is the qualifier, right? The championship that would send you to the championship in Dubai. So it was like the semifinal, basically, sort of, or like play-in tournament or something like that.
It was the tournament that if we win, we qualify as the Team USA representative.
Gotcha.
When we were on our way, I kept telling myself, I've never done this before. I don't know what it feels like, but we just need to win one time. And if we do, we'll have that confidence going into Dubai to God willing, take the entire thing, you know?
Yeah. And you told me before we started recording the cameras, you're going there to win. This
Absolutely.
is not just a vacation trip for you. Because I started this by asking if you've been to Dubai. Where does that come from in here? Where does that tenacity come from, where you were able to approach a game like that?
I feel like, and Nikki can probably attest to this too, I feel like I may hate to lose more than I love to win, to be very honest with you. On our way there, Nikki just kept saying, we're going here to win. We don't know who our third person is going to be, but we're going here to win, we're going here to win, we're going here to win. And when we got there, we just made sure we did what we could.
So many young people now look up to people like you. And you mentioned, you know, back certainly when I was in school, it wasn't, I mean, the WNBA wasn't as celebrated as it is today. There are a variety of reasons on that. People can argue about that. But the fact is that the light is being shed on female basketball, which is incredible. Again, I'm the father of 2 daughters, have a son as well. But I think it's really cool what you guys are doing. Sarah, when people say to you, I want to be like you, whether it be a doctor or whether it be a basketball player, what advice do you give the young people out there who are watching you do what you do?
Absolutely. First and foremost, there are a few things. First is believe in yourself. You have to have that innate confidence that you can and you will. Secondly, mentorship. Mentorship is extremely important. Get with people who have done it before. My father, he passed away last year. He was a physician, and he held my hand and got me to where I am today. And I have mentors that help me to become the basketball player that I am today. So it's extremely important to find a good mentor, and that is also why I believe so much in inspiring the next generation, because I know what mentorship did for me.
Yeah, he must have been so proud of you.
Absolutely.
That's incredible to be playing in his honor and in the shadow of his legacy. I mean, it's just an incredible story. And Nikki, you know, I've seen you out on the court at these youth games for New Heights, and when these young girls see you out there, you can see that their wheels are turning in their head, you know. And I've talked to my own daughter about it, and I will someday to my 7-year-old as well. Look towards people like Sarah and Nikki who are doing things, even though it's hard. And it's not, sometimes they see the WNBA and they think it's all about the shoe deals and everything else. That's great, but it's about grinding as a doctor, grinding as a teacher. By the way, I ask you, what's harder, playing basketball on a world stage or teaching 4th grade math? And you said,
sure, it's teaching 4th grade math. It's no question.
So yeah, so take me through your day, because I want to get your thoughts on how you view yourself as somebody who other people look up to. When you're in the classroom, you're up there kind of like a point guard, right? You're commanding the classroom and trying to dish out different lessons to them. What is that process like in the classroom, seeing the response from your teammates or your kids in this case?
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's like I'm throwing the assist, you know, I do the scaffolding.
Yeah.
I'm like, if this means this, then what does this mean?
Yeah.
And I wait for the answer, you know, and sometimes they drop the ball. Sometimes they're right there and it's kind of like slips off their fingers. But yeah, they're getting it, you know. It's the same way. I kind of help push them to get to the goal that they need to get to. And I'm happy doing that. And it seems like they're really gravitating to me and taking to me nicely. So I like that. And I start my day in the school working out in the gym. So I actually work out at 6 a.m.
At school. And what school is it again?
Promise Academy in Harlem Children's Zone.
So what time are you in there in the gym before?
I get there at 6 o'clock, 6:30ish. I work out so the kids can see me because they have to go to the cafeteria to eat breakfast. So they're all there watching with their camera phones. Miss Avery, we saw you in the gym, Miss Avery. So it feels good to know that they're watching, and hopefully it's inspiring them and it's planting that seed that I had, that will and that resiliency that Sarah spoke about, to like want to be something, to want to work hard at whatever it is that they want to become, whether it's basketball or a doctor or a teacher.
Or learning fractions.
Or learning fractions, right? So I put that competitive spirit in them, even in the classroom. Sometimes I develop some type of like math games, and it's like it's you against you. So who's gonna get it right?
Yeah.
So they compete, and it's nice. I try to bring the game into the classroom all the time.
What's that like when you see somebody have a breakthrough and you know that you were part of that process?
I can cry. I can cry almost every time, Mike. It's so fulfilling. It like really touches my spirit, my soul. I know that all of these long days, all of this hard work, all of the yelling, the voice, losing my voice, it means something. You know, people don't look at teachers and think, oh, wow, you're saving the world. But like, we're doing big works, touching each child every day, somehow like shaping their mind to be something. And we're with them 8 hours a day, like even more than their parents. So it really means a lot. I don't have children of my own. So it's like, I like love all of them, you know, unconditionally. If they need anything, I'm there, but I'm very tough with them as well. It's like a warm, sweet, you know, type of approach. But I'm bad mom and good. I'm like bad cop, good cop all the time. So it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. Like, and it's all worth it when that smile, when they get something, they're just like, I get it, Miss Avery, I get it now. And I'm just like, thank God, you know, it means something.
You can tell it really impacts you.
Yeah, it impacts me in a major way, more than basketball, even when I'm teaching basketball.
Yeah. Well, and I've seen that process, and you're so good with the kids out there because it is sort of like good cop, bad cop, and it's not easy though. And I want to ask both of you. I mean, there have been times where you probably reached a point where other people may have given up. Maybe you wanted to give up. How do you fight through that? If somebody's out there struggling right now, going through something in whatever capacity, how do you push through to reach the level that you've been able to reach?
I always try to like give myself grace somehow and evaluate what's happening, you know, analyze it, say, okay, what are the good things that are going on here? And that kind of always overcomes whatever struggles, whatever adversity, whatever is kind of weighing me down. It just fights through. You know, I kind of rest, I kind of sit back and relax and say, okay, it's not going to happen in a day, right? Rome isn't built in a day, they say, right?
Yeah.
So I take that type of approach. It's like, Nikki, I know you want to make a change. It's going to happen. Let it take its course. It takes time.
Yeah.
So I kind of sit back in that realm. When I sit there, it feels better because I'm pushing myself to be this perfectionist, to help or to do. And sometimes I'm overdoing it. And then it's like it's putting more pressure on me that doesn't need to be. So, but I think there's just an innate, as Sarah was saying, resiliency that is here. And I also want to credit it to God as well. I don't want to get like, you know, spiritual and stuff. But, you know, the power is around us. And, you know, you have to grab it. You have to grab the power. It's there. Like, we have greatness in all of us. And I tell my kids, it doesn't matter what circumstances you come from. You can change everything. You know, if you have the right tools around and the people who are here to like help you with the resources, you can change it. What you're seeing around you is a small reality of what is outside.
Yeah.
So like, think bigger. You can be the change. It can be you. So this is constantly what I'm pushing into the children and even into my friends and myself.
Right.
I need it for myself as well. So.
Sarah, what about you? I mean, you know, Dr. Ogoke out there, you're doing 80 hours, you know, at the hospital, and then also finding time. In fact, after you leave this interview, you're going to go for a workout. How do you fight through that sort of that sense of wanting to stop or thinking that you don't have enough in the tank or to get through to the finish line?
Yeah, excellent question. And to build off of what Nikki said, is to, try to think when things get hard, we get overwhelmed, right? But try to separate the emotion from the situation and try to approach it logically. Especially when I get really, really busy, I often remind myself, like, I asked for this life. I'm living my dream life.
What do they say? Pressure is a privilege?
Pressure is a privilege, and pressure makes diamonds as well. And I wholeheartedly believe in that. And this is the life that I prayed for. When I first started playing professionally, I asked to be able to have an opportunity to play at the highest level. I knew when I enrolled at the University of Pittsburgh as a biology major that I wanted to become a physician one day. So I smile. When things get hard, I smile. And I remember, I'm built for this. I'm prepared. And this is the life that I've always wanted.
Just a couple of more. I mean, I could spend hours and hours with you guys, but I know you're very, very busy, so I appreciate the time. But the Red Bull, the 3-on-3, how did you get involved with it? And what is it like to be part of this group? We'll start with you, Sarah.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I want to just give a quick shout out to my hospital, the One Brooklyn Health System, who have been so supportive with all my endeavors, all my extracurriculars. They've they've been amazing. And the way we got started with Red Bull was my friends, they called me. Nikki was one of the people who called me, and she's like, hey, Sarah, there's a tournament coming up. I didn't even know what the stakes were. She just told me there's a 3-on-3 tournament in Philadelphia. Do you want to play? And I was like, sure, of course. And it wasn't until later that I found out that the winner goes to Dubai. So, it's just the pure love of the game of basketball and having an amazing network of Nikki, our other teammate who's currently in Connecticut, Batuli, and just coming together and just wanting to play basketball.
By the way, you're juggling all of this, and you're also a new mom. What would you tell your younger self? What would you tell your younger self, knowing what you know now? What would you tell that little girl who was going around the park there in Harlem with Virgil, and you're playing these pickup games? Well, what advice would you give yourself?
I would tell myself, just keep going. I would tell myself, keep going and believe in yourself even more. I would put myself into more realistic and like avenues that were profitable and beneficial to me. I didn't know any better most of the time. I just was kind of in the streets and in the parks, but I would put myself in the forefront and say, I'm here. I'm here and I'm going to do it. I would tell myself those things. I would also study education.
Yeah, right.
Because now I'm getting my master's in education on top of everything else I'm doing. And so I wish I studied that initially. I studied broadcasting communications, believe it or not.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Well, as you both have proven, there are apparently more hours in the day than 24, according to your schedules, which is crazy to me. Which is crazy you're able to all, just to do it all. I mean, and you being a new mom, I mean, how do you find the energy? Because I have 3 kids, I'm exhausted every second, and I am not a professional basketball player. How do you find the energy, and what have you learned about yourself in the past year that you've been a mom?
Oh, amazing question. Honestly, after I had my son, well, first and foremost, we as women are incredible.
Yes.
I loved and appreciated my mother so much more after I had my son. I gained 40 pounds to have my little boy. And the things our bodies do to be able to bring life into this world are amazing. In order to get back into basketball shape, I had to work really, really hard. And what that did was also not just restructure my body, but it helped me restructure my mind. So in a nutshell, the best way to take care of yourself is to take care of yourself. Getting back into the gym, eating right, getting back, focusing on basketball and sports, it reduces the stress of being a physician. It reduces the stress of being a mother sometimes when I don't get a lot of sleep. But because I'm physically in shape, I'm able to push through, I'm able to power through in ways that a lot of people probably aren't.
What do you hope little Bentley says about you someday when he's like 20 years and he reads about all the stuff that Mom was up to when he was a little baby?
Oh man, I kept going because of my son. You know, my husband told me, Bentley needs to see you playing. Bentley needs to see you playing. And I hope that my little boy, he looks back on my career, and I hope he's motivated. I hope he knows that he has what he sees is what he has in him innately. And I hope he uses that to fuel his desires and achieve all his dreams.
Just like what you saw in your mom and dad
exactly.
in the medical side of things. So November 25th and through 29th, this is the tournament in Dubai. This is the high stakes. This is what we're talking about, right? So then we're going to watch it. I'm sure you can watch it online somehow. We're going to figure that out. But it's the Red Bull 3-on-3, the World Championships, Team USA across the chest. What's going to be going through your mind when you take the court and you're representing the United States?
No prisoners. Like, we want to win. We want to win.
That's what I was thinking, win.
We're going for the win. We spoke about this already on the way home after winning in Philly.
You already had a plan.
We were both pumped. We said, we're coming back. We want to win. Yeah. So we put together, we said, Tuli's coming. We're going to still have our girl G that we picked up in Philly. Yeah. So now we have 4 people, and we want to go for it.
Yeah, we want to bring that Red Bull trophy back here, back to New York, and back to America.
Yeah, that's amazing. What are you going to do next? I mean, you guys have already done everything. I feel like. What is there any other big plans? You're getting your master's. Yeah. You're still working your way through these residency hours.
Yeah, I'm working my way through residency diligently, and I also have upcoming competitions with the Nigerian national team.
Oh, okay.
We have a friendly against the Turkish national team actually coming up this week. I'll be heading out to Istanbul on Tuesday.
So this is before the Dubai.
Yes.
That's good, Sarah. We need
She's gonna be locked in.
Tip-top shape.
She's going to be locked in.
We need you in tip-top shape, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Pleasure to meet you both, Sarah, Nikki. Congratulations.
Likewise.
Ogoke.
Thank you.
It's just incredible. It's an incredible story. I'm glad that people get to hear it. And good luck in all the games that you play and everything that you do in teaching and in your medical profession, too. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.